So, Dr. Joyner, I'm not into gotcha journalism, okay? I really don't like that.
So in my opinion, this class is not very good. My ultimate advice is to just skip it.
Now, I originally put this video up, but then quickly took it back down after getting some hateful comments.
I guess that's concerning, really concerning.
Graduate algorithms. As you may have seen recently, there's been some new controversy surfacing about this class. So I want to dive into the nitty-gritty details with you guys. I myself have explored it a bunch, and I want to bring to light at least some of what's going on with this class and hopefully help you out if you're thinking about taking it. So let's get started. Okay, so graduate algorithms has notoriously been a very hot topic at Georgia Tech. It is honestly, when I took the class, a very poorly run class, I gotta say. So there has been a ton of controversy surrounding it because lots of people have been falsely accused of cheating in the class. I've heard of students uploading the same assignment from previous semesters that they've withdrawn from and gotten completely different scores from the TAs. So it just has seemed that lately the basic vibe that I'm getting from Georgia Tech's OMSCS students are that this class needs a ton of work, and so much so that I believe that someone has even threatened to litigate or to kind of sue Georgia Tech for doing this class this way, because they were in the traditional in-person graduate algorithms course, but then because of the class being too full, they had to switch to the online version, and they saw just a ton of discrepancies and a ton of kind of bad vibes coming. So let's dive into this. So basically, you'll get kind of two camps of people. People who do it insist that the grading is not fair. And I will mention this, that previously the class was done almost entirely in pseudo code. And to me, that just screamed room for error in terms of interpretation, format, all this kind of stuff that would make grading kind of a nightmare for everyone. Nowadays, I hear that this class is doing more programming, which I think is great, because in the real world, when you're doing algorithms, you do a little pseudocode, sure, but then the nitty-gritty details are in the code. So that is more useful for people if they actually take this class. As someone has said here, this comment is making me seriously consider switching to interactive intelligence. That's what I did because I was just done with that class. I felt like it was completely not fair at the time, and I hope they're working on making it better. That's at least what I've heard from Dr. Joyner. Anyways, so someone actually banded together with a bunch of other students who had been falsely accused, and one of these students had involved a lawyer to talk about this class because it seemed like it was such a problem that enough people were having. They banded together to make kind of a petition to change the class. Now, I personally never received accusations of cheating. To me, it was more the grading was just skewumpus and totally unfair. And feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah, you'll get totally people who insist that it's not corrupt or whatever. It's not it's totally fair and it's just people complaining. But you'll totally get other people on the other spectrum. So this is a very hot topic class, and whichever way you see it, leave it in the comments. Let's read this comment, though, very carefully. This is someone who has gotten into that group with the other students, who is contacting a lawyer to talk to Georgia Tech about this class. So I won't name any specific TAs, though. If you're in the course, you'll know exactly who I'm referring to. The course design has shifted significantly. Homeworks are now worth 25% of the grade. They decided to move away from pseudocode, finally, and implement assignments in Python. The problem is the logistics of it all. I would totally agree with this. The TA in question had deemed himself infallible, stating that he won't change his mind once a student is accused. Professor Brito is nowhere to be seen. His TAs are taking all the flack for him. This TA is acting as judge, jury, and executioner. He's not following the FCR process at all. He is mass accusing students of cheating and then dumping all cases to OSI. Yeah, I just feel like the professor in this class does not really show up, to be honest. Despite all of this and me asking him directly what sort of evidence could be given, if all my evidence is not enough, what more can I use to vindicate myself? He ignored all my comments. So I guess one thing I saw when I took the class is you would make a case to the TAs and they just kind of would ignore you because they thought oh, you're just complaining. So anyways, I even made 2 YouTube videos about this. As you saw in the intro there, it's this one first, Georgia Tech OMSCS Graduate Algorithms Review. I re-uploaded. I tweaked it a bit because so many people were so upset about it, but I really regret that. So later on, I made the uncut. I did not change this one. It's really what I thought of at the time. And I honestly feel quite vindicated by this post because it seems that lots of other people have experienced this, even though there are quite a few rude commenters out there trying to squash any kind of like voice of these students. So I'm really glad that people are getting together to talk about this and to take it seriously. So let's check out this other post that was linked in the first one. Basically, someone is kind of expounding on their feelings of when you take this program, you almost have to take graduate algorithms. There are now two ways of not taking graduate algorithms. They are interactive intelligence and the latest and greatest human-computer interaction. So if you choose those two specializations, you do not have to take graduate algorithms. But anyways, it did to me feel like even when you're registering for the class, getting into graduate algorithms was like a pain. There was always a ton of people on the wait list. So you kind of just push it off because you're not sure if you're going to get in. And that makes it like a bursting bubble effect. When you do take it and you're at the end of your program, a lot of people can't pass, and then it's kind of like devastating, but almost in a way that feels like counterproductive. Like it's just a hindrance to get done with the program. So in my interview with Dr. Joyner, he actually suggested to try and take it early on. And even if you're on the wait list for a long time, there's still a good chance you could get in. So I'm hopeful. I know this class has been a really sore subject for a lot of people. I'm hopeful that now that Dr. Joyner's on board here, we got some more students get involved, that the class is now using real code instead of pseudocode. I'm hopeful that it is heading in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate it. If it helped you in any way, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.